And what are some of the basic rules, Manfred, before we move on to Sarah? Like, are there besides the saddle recommendations, are there other tack limitations?
Maybe Sarah can lead us through the tack limitations. I think I'd prefer if she said something there.
We only wear bandages on the legs and coronet boots just to protect the horses. It's always about the safety of the horses. But the rest is, you can ride with a martingale or a head check or whatever and you can ride with any bit that you'd like. There's no limitations on that. They do say that we aren't allowed to ride with a running rein, like a polo player plays with a running rein for safety in polo. In Polocrosse, they say the less tack that you have on the horse, because it's such a contact sport, you don't want to interfere with tack as well. That can get hooked onto other players. Yeah. But the game starts with a line out, so everyone is standing. The ones are next to each other, the twos are next to each other, and the threes. So the attacking player is the one, the midfielder is the two, and the defender is the three. And the ball is thrown in by the umpire, so everyone starts fairly. And then once you've got the ball, then you have to try and score the goal but everyone else can defend them by riding them off or can hit their racket, but in an upwards movement. You're not allowed to hit downwards, you have to hit upwards.
Okay, so
it's very much like,
so like a scooping motion, like in lacrosse. Yes. Okay,
it's very much like lacrosse. Yeah. So
and what gets you into, like, I'm quite thrilled by the violence of this, Sarah. What gets you into trouble with the umpire?
Well, if you do, that's all about, as I said, safety for the horses. So you can't ride behind the saddle. You can't, when you ride somebody off, you have to be shoulder to shoulder. So if there's a line, if the ball travels in a direction, that's the line of the ball, and no one's allowed to cross that line. So so you don't end up with having an intersection crossing that you jumped a red robot, that kind of idea. So it's always like safety for the horses and safety for the players as well. So no one gets hit on their hands or anything. That's why they try and say upward movement, and it's not allowed to be a wild stick swinging.
But and if you violate sorry, Sarah, if you violate one of the rules?
So then you would get a penalty, either from the spot or they would move it further up the field, depending on the seriousness of the penalty. And then the team that got the advantage would start with the ball, and then they have to throw the ball to themselves or pass it to one of their players. Yeah. So